Mr. Ramji Raghavan, our chief guest, members on the dais, our principal Arjun Rao, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, teachers and staff and children of Oakridge International. There was a picture of me flashed on the screen when I was being mentioned, and I think I looked a lot younger. And the few years I've been associated with Oakridge has added to my present looks. Whether that means that I've suffered or not, I don't know, but I've had a very exciting time. One of the problems with people in education is to try and work out all the time what is education. And there are several definitions and several ideas. And all the time, we are, at least I am, thinking whether we are doing the right thing in educating our children. Because when I was young, and that was many, many years ago, ladies and gentlemen, it was in the 30s that I went to school, I was taught tables. I was taught the 16 times tables. And I was taught the 16 times tables because, I don't know whether any of you will remember, there were 16 annas to a rupee. And there were 12 pies to a pice and 4 paisa to an anna. It was all very complicated, and yet you were asked a question that if you were given a vendor 5 rupees, what change would you get back if you spent 1 rupee, 12 annas, and 3 paisa? And that's what we had to learn. And today that is obsolete. So what did I learn? Was it necessary? In fact, this is the problem. Just imagine a child entering school today. When he or she is of my age, she'll be at the turn of this century. And this century is progressing so rapidly that it is almost breathtaking. What will the world be like then? Did anyone know 14 years ago at the turn of the last century that today there will be 900 million mobile phones in the country? We have in our pockets devices which are faster, much more powerful, and much, much, much smaller than the first such device that was ever built, which occupied 6 floors and consumed as much power as a small city. And now we have developed that into a machine that sits in our pocket, which is billion times more powerful and a billion times faster. Now, given that kind of situation, what is education? It becomes clear to me that whatever we are teaching today is going to be obsolete in a few days, in a few years. And so is it worth teaching? And that is why our teaching involves not just teaching a syllabus, which is laid down by some authority somewhere who thinks this is what you must learn, because whatever you're learning today is going to be probably pretty useless. Just imagine, I learned to spell. I was a very great speller. And you have these spelling bee competitions. And you have to have spelling bee competition because people have forgotten that you need to spell. Why have they forgotten? Because when you put your word processor on, it spells things for you. It in fact uncannily predicts what the sentence should be. So you don't even have to learn to write. And that is the situation that is developing in this world. So then what becomes of education? And in fact, this is the crux of the matter. Education is educating children for an unknown future. For an unknown future. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I was very, very happy that our chief guest, Mr. Ramji Raghavan, mentioned creativity and curiosity. Curiosity is what we are born with. The child, when it comes out of the womb, starts looking, looks here and there. You make a sound here and her attention goes there. Show her some colors and she'll look at that. That's curiosity. And what do we do, ladies and gentlemen, in our educational process to educate them for the future? We dumb down curiosity. We tell them not to ask questions. Do not ask questions. It's in the book. It's what I am telling you. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, our educational system has made us not innovators, but copiers. And we really need to get out of this stranglehold. He also talks about creativity. Again, one of the great concepts that we should be putting into our schools. Because the essence of creativity, and as he said very clearly, it's not just in science, in art and craft. A potter is creative, a painter is creative, a mathematician is creative. And he gave examples. What is it that makes one creative? It's the ability to think out of the box. A very small, very concise definition of creativity is to think out of the box and to be able to push the envelope so that you say, suppose I do this, then what? And so you get his and aha moments all the time. And this is what education should be, that constantly, as he mentioned, children must be saying or aha, or ha ha, I found it. So I do support him very strongly on this. And at the end of the day, I wish to mention one more C. He mentioned 3. I don't know whether you remember that. One was curiosity, one was creativity, and one was confidence. 3 C's he mentioned. So let me add to that and mention one more C, and that is citizenship. If our children who come from these very privileged backgrounds are not good citizens and do not contribute actively to the progress of our communities and societies, then I'm afraid our education has been not that good. They must be active contributors. And I'm going to take just 2 aspects of citizenship to illustrate what I mean by citizenship. And the first one was mentioned by the Principal Arjun Rao, is cleanliness. And it is sad, it's somewhat amazing that the Prime Minister of the country has to tell us all, educated people, all us educators, keep yourselves clean, Swachh Bharat, keep your rivers clean, keep your roads clean. Why have we not done it? What is it that was wrong? And that is something that I hope our children will do for us, that they will really, truly make this Swachh Bharat. That's the only hope we have left, ladies and gentlemen, our children. And the second C that I have in mind is called compassion. Compassion. It is particularly important for our children to be compassionate because they are from an elite level of society. I would like them to be not elite by privilege, but elite by merit. The aristocracy of merit should be their lodestone. I would like that our children become so compassionate that their lives are partly given to others. So what do I mean by compassion? Compassion. Compassion, ladies and gentlemen, is to love with a passion. Love with a passion the air you breathe. Love with a passion the trees you see, the leaves that whisper in the wind. Love with a passion the birds that sing. Love with a passion the flowers. Love with a passion the animals that inhabit this earth. Love with a passion the world around you. Above all, love with a passion those who are not so fortunate as you are. Love them, the deprived. Love them, the weak, the helpless. Love them. Because if you love them, you will be able to help them become what you are yourself. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is the crux of our education, to love with a passion. We want our children to grow up not just individuals on their own, but people who are citizens of this country, of their community, of their city, and of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, if we can achieve that, you all and I would be really sitting back and saying, ha ha, wonderful. So thank you very much. I'm delighted to have talked to all of you, and I hope that Oakridge does achieve some of the goals that we have in mind for it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for putting this faith in us, and we do look forward to sharing much more of this with you. Thank you.